So you realize, okay, so now for all of 6 of these, Beth is going to come up with a theme song that we need to...
I will do it.
So it's, what is the song? Getting Jiggy With It. The West End is Getting Jiggy With It.
Welcome back to In the House with Beth and Ryan. I'm Beth, and this is Ryan.
Today we are going to do the first of a very exciting 6-part series where we take a look at all of the different neighborhoods within Guelph. We have the west, the north, the east, the south, and then we're going to break the downtown into one segment and the areas by Stone Road Mall as the 6th segment. So today, specifically, we're going to focus on West Guelph, and that makes up the Onward Willow neighborhood and the Willow West.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Yeah, the Onward Willow neighborhood and the Willow West neighborhood, as well as the area that's kind of lumped into that called West Acres.
Right, which coincidentally is where Ryan grew up.
That's right. That it is, yes. And then actually there's also another subsegment of Onward Willow, which is the Junction.
Right. So the Junction often, from a practical standpoint, gets lumped together with downtown because it is walkable to downtown, and the era of homes is more similar to the ones in the neighborhood of downtown.
That's right. It just gets lumped into the West End because of the geographic boundaries.
Yeah.
It's on the west side of Edinburgh Road. Right. So we're going to talk about this neighborhood today and some of the facts and figures about it, some of the amenities, who lives there, the age of homes, the price range of homes, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the West End of Guelph in 2024, we have our facts here, had 273 sales in Guelph, which equates to about 16% of the total city sales are coming from the West End. Of that, we're looking at about a $727,000 home price.
Average price.
Average over the full year. And in that, it makes up a wide range of homes that are available.
Yeah, the West End is a neighborhood that pretty much touches on every different style of home. You've got townhouses, you've got bigger condominium buildings, you've got smaller and larger detached homes, bungalows, a little bit of everything.
And if you add in the Junction to that, you even have century homes that fall into that. So from probably the early 1900s all the way to modern new builds that are still happening in the West End, you have entry-level $300,000 homes that sold or condos that sold in 2024, all the way up to when you get down to the pricier homes down on Westra and some of the newer developments down there. Some very expensive homes in the West End of Guelph as well. There's a lot of reasons why people would want to move to the West End.
Yeah, the West End is obviously closer to Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, being on the west side of Guelph. So for those people who are commuting in that direction, it's a super convenient location. You also have the Hanlon Expressway right next door, so you can quickly get to the 401.
Yeah, people don't think of that as a benefit.
Yeah.
But it is right, the Hanlon is right there.
It's Guelph's only expressway, so even just for traveling within the city of Guelph, the West End is a great location because you can get on the Hanlon and be into the south end of Guelph pretty quickly.
Yeah, and we should say that the West End of Guelph is actually the northwest.
Right, I was just thinking about that as I was saying that.
It really is isolated to the northwest corner of Guelph, so it doesn't go alongside the whole West End of Guelph. It's just the northwest. And you forgot the big draw. The big draw in the West End of Guelph, which we tend to put in all of our listings because it means so much to people in Guelph.
Costco.
Yeah, Costco. It's a huge draw for so many people. It's Guelph's only Costco is in the West End, and it's an important part of any listing because people love Costco.
Especially if you're a middle-aged woman and the majority of your wardrobe items come from there.
Well, I'm wearing a fleece. I have a fleece that came from Costco. Actually, the whole family has fleeces that came from Costco. As well as there is the rec center. The West End Rec Center is a big draw.
So the West End Rec Center has hockey rinks. It has swimming. It has a library branch. Lots of different city programming, summer camps. There's a ton of things going on at the West End Rec Center. Yeah,
and it's very well used. I mean, there are skating rinks there, and they are there are only 3 or 4 facilities with skating rinks in the cities. That being one of them. What else do you want to talk about in the West End? Oh, the other big thing is in the West End of Guelph, there's a lot of manufacturing that happens. Guelph employs a lot of people at Linamar, and Linamar is huge in the West End of Guelph, and we often will go out for lunch to one of our favorite restaurants.
Yes.
And do you want to say where?
Faux Saigon.
Faux Saigon. And oftentimes there are Linamar employees there on their lunch break, and the West End of Guelph supports, the Linamar manufacturing supports a lot of the West End businesses.
A surprise element to this video that Ryan doesn't know that I'm going to do is I've decided that we should come up with a theme song for each of the neighborhoods in our 6-part series.
Oh, this should be interesting.
And so, I was trying to figure out how to do it, and I figure maybe the most objective way is to just look at the ages of the homes and kind of come up with the average age and then think of a song that I like.
Okay, so this would be like 1950s, maybe. I'd say probably is the majority, as well as
all the way up to newer homes like 2000.
Yeah, so actually the majority is probably the 70s. So the 70s are probably the majority. But you have some 50s, 70s, lots of late 80s.
Safe to say that the average is somewhere in the 90s.
It's probably the 90s.
Probably a dancey hip hop feel.
Probably. Yes, definitely a...
All right.
Okay.
Until next time.
Until next time, if you need us, we are at bethandryan.ca.